Okay, so for the lesson today, we're going to do chain rule with trig functions. So we're working off the worksheet, and this is number 1. Find the derivative of each function. So this is going to require the chain rule, because if you look inside that trig function, it is another function, something other than just x. So I am first going to take the derivative of the secant, and then I'm going to take the derivative of 4x. So we're going to think about this as f of x, and then that is my g. Okay, so to take the derivative, so the derivative of secant, looking at your card, is going to be, okay, so you're going to keep this 2 here, and doing the derivative of secant of 4x, well, the derivative of secant is secant times tan. We are going to leave that function as is in the trig functions. Now I'm going to take the derivative of 4x, which is just 4. So then we just multiply the 4 and the 2, and we get 8 secant 4x tan 4x. So when you have a trig function with something other than just x inside, you're going to have to do the chain rule. Moving on to example 2. Here's another example. We have the trig function with another function inside. So I'm first going to do the derivative of cosine, which the derivative of cosine is negative sine. I'm going to leave what is inside the trig function as is. Then I am going to multiply it by the derivative of 3x plus 4. Well, the derivative of that is just 3. Moving that 3 to the front, it becomes negative 3 sine of 3x plus 4. Okay. Moving on to example 3. When we have square trig functions, this is going to also be a chain rule. This is, we could think about it like this. And think about how, well, I'm going to first do the derivative of this 3 cos x to the second, and then deal with the derivative of the cos x. So to start, I'm going to bring that 2 out front and make it 6. This is just going to, when you subtract 1 from that, it just stays to the first power, or becomes to the first power. Then I take the derivative of what's inside, which is negative sine x. Simplifying this, I get negative 6 cos x sine x. Okay, that's number 3. Number 4, so we have multiple layers here. So we can think about it like this. We have the cubing, then the tangent, then the 3x. So I'm going to have 3 different pieces here. So let's first start with dealing with the cubing. I'm going to move that 3 out front, and then that becomes squared. I'm then going to do the tangent 3x, which the derivative of tangent is cosecant squared x. So that's going to become cosecant squared 3x. Then I'm going to do the derivative of 3x, which is 3. Simplifying this down, that is 9 tangent squared 3x times secant squared 3x. Okay, that's number 4. So sometimes the chain rule, we have to do multiple pieces. Okay, so for this one, we are having to do the product rule here, and it's going to involve a little bit of the chain rule too. So I'm going to treat this like F and this like G. Okay, so remember with the product rule, we leave that first function alone, and I'm going to multiply it by the derivative of the second. That one will have some chain rule in it. So the derivative of secant is secant x tan x. So I'm first going to do secant x tan x. So that's the derivative of the secant. And then I have to do the derivative of what's inside secant, which is just going to be 2. Plus, then I take the derivative of f. So the derivative of f is going to be 6x, and then I just multiply that by what we're calling g, which is secant 2x. Okay, so let's simplify this. That 2 multiplies with the 3, making this 6x squared, secant 2x, tan 2x, plus 6x secant 2x. Okay, we are going to GCF out. What can I take out? I can take out a 6x and a secant 2x, which leaves me with x tan 2x plus 1. Awesome. Okay. Moving on to number 6. So this is another one with those multiple layers where we first have to deal with the 5th power, then the sign, then the 3x plus 1. So we're going to have 3 different pieces here. So first I move the 5 out front, which is going to turn that to a 4th power. I multiply that by doing the derivative of then sine 3x plus 1. Derivative of sine is cosine. I'm leaving that 3x plus 1 inside the trig function. My last piece to do is the 3x plus 1. The derivative of that is just 3. So simplifying this down, I get 15 sine to the 4th 3x plus 1 times cos 3x plus 1. Okay, those are the first 6 examples on your worksheet. So go finish the rest of these.